We've been using function constructors and playing with prototypes to create inheritance, but we no longer have to do this. With ES6 we have classes. Let's see how to use classes. Let's create a class person. This class has a constructor function. This constructor function will be called when we create an instance from this class. To prove what I'm saying, I will add a console log here and I will say from the constructor. Then let's create person 1. And now we can see that the constructor has been called automatically when we created a new person. Let's console log the person 1. And now it worked as expected. This person 1 is an object. This is an instance of this class person, and it has a name property and an age property. Let's add to this person class a method display name. So display name, we add parentheses, then we open the code block. Then let's call it person1 display name. And great, it works properly. But there is an important thing that you need to know. The methods you create after the constructor function will be in the prototype, not on the object itself. Let's console here this person1. You can see that it only has the name and age properties. It does not have the display name method on it. But if we go here to the prototype, we can see that this method is sitting here in the prototype chain. Great. With classes, the concept of inheritance becomes really easy. You don't have to do the hacking with prototypes. It is simply done using the keyword extend. So let's create a new class that inherits from person. So class student extends person. And here let's add the constructor to the student class. The constructor for this student has 3 parameters: name, age, and field. Then here you need to call the constructor of its parent. We do this using the super keyword and call it. So here I will pass it name and age. Then here this dot field equal to field. Here let's add a message to the student's constructor. And let's also change the message of the person constructor, so that we can see how these constructors are being called. Then let's remove all of this and create a new student. So student 1, it has this name, this age, and this field. And now when we create an instance of student, the JavaScript engine will call the constructor of the student class. And since we are using extends person here, it also knows that this student will inherit from its parent, which is person. So first the constructor of the student will be called, then here it finds super with these parameters, the name and the age. It will call the constructor of its parent, which is person constructor. It will attach the name and age properties to this object. Then here we go back to the student constructor and attach a field property to it. If you don't call the constructor of its parent using the super keyword, it will throw an error. So when you use inheritance with ES6 classes, make sure that you always call the constructor of the parent you are inheriting from. And now when we console here the student, it has the age, the name, and field properties, and also it is inheriting from the person class the display name method. Let's call it. Great, it works. Also the student class can have methods. Let's create a display student method. And now let's call it. And great, it works.